Hey, what up, guys? Doing another What's Next. This is on former light heavyweight champion Oleksandr Gvodzyk. Nickname is The Nail. He is my current number 5 light heavyweight in the world right now. That's 175 pounds. He hasn't fought since last October when he lost the WBC light heavyweight title to Artur Beterbiev in a unification bout. You know, it was a good fight. They were going at it. Two undefeated champions. They were going at it, and Beterbiev just kind of kept stalking and getting close. I believe Gvodzyk was winning on 2 of the 3 cards going into the 10th, but you know, he had gotten kind of beat up and just worn down more is what it was. You know, Beterbiev just had a good plan of attack, and he was okay with giving a couple more rounds away to break him down and stop him in the late rounds. And it was just a smart fight by Beterbiev, a slow breakdown. And he finally got to Gvodzyk. It was a good performance on both ends. You know, tough loss though when you lose your first fight and you lose your world title, especially in a big fight like that. But Gvodzyk, he did an interview recently saying that, you know, he wants to come back, possibly go straight into an eliminator or a big fight. And, you know, I like that attitude because he could not say anything and be out for, you know, even longer. But once the pandemic's lifted, I believe we're going to see him back. So currently I believe he's number 3 in the WBC right now. So let's run him through the top 10 and see what's next for former light heavyweight champion Oleksandr Gvodzyk. So we start with number 1, a rematch with unified champion Artur Beterbiev. Well, that's not going to happen. Beterbiev's lined up for a mandatory defense of his title against Chinaman Meng Fanlong, so not going to happen. Number 2 is a showdown with Sergey Kovalev. I'm not seeing this one. Kovalev, you know, is coming off the knockout loss to Canelo, where he lost the light heavyweight title. That was just a couple weeks after Gvodzyk lost. So you would think, hey, why not fight each other? Well, a couple reasons. Kovalev, I think, is a promotional free agent now because he was fighting. He was going to fight on DAZN against Sullivan Barrera. So I think I'm not sure he's with Top Rank. And I don't know, and I don't think he really wants to fight at light heavyweight anymore. He came out and said he's interested in fighting at cruiserweight. His fight with Barrera was supposed to be a catchweight of 180 pounds. I guess he's trying to gradually get himself up to the 200-pound cruiserweight limit. So I just don't see this as an option next. You know, and Gvodzyk's a good boxer, and I'm not sure Kovalev wants to face a crafty boxer in his next fight. He probably wants somebody that's a little more wide open, easier to hit, not so technical. And again, I don't think he's interested in making 175, so I don't see that. Number 3 is former champion Eleider Alvarez versus Gvodzyk. Not going to happen. Alvarez is fighting Joe Smith Jr. most likely next in the quarterfinals of a 4-man, in the semifinals of a 4-man box-off to determine the next light heavyweight champion, WBO champion. So that's not going to happen. Number 4 is undefeated WBA champion Dimitri Bivol. You know, Gvodzyk could probably get this fight if he wanted it, but it's high risk coming off of a loss. Bivol is maybe the most technically sound light heavyweight there is in a division. I would love to see the matchup between him and Gvodzyk at some point, but Gvodzyk coming in, your confidence going to be a little lower coming off of a tough knockout loss. Not sure he should take on a guy like Bivol, but Bivol would fight him because Bivol is desperate to get anybody in the top 10 interested in facing him. So, you know, I could see Bivol taking a fight, but I don't think it happens next. Number 5 is Gvodzyk, obviously. Number 6 is Jean Pascal. I would love to see the fight. Pascal is actually, even though he's a WBA regular champion, the WBC still has him ranked at number 2. I would love to see these two guys lock horns. But Pascal has a good thing going with, he's not with the PBC, but he has, you know, he fought twice last year for the PBC against Marcus Brown, Badu Jack. Those are a little bit more known fighters. He was looking at a rematch with Badu Jack next. And I think that makes more sense in terms of a business standpoint and a more beatable standpoint, you know, because Jack is more known and he's an older fighter than Gvodzyk. So I don't see him and Pascal getting together. Number 7 is Marcus Brown. a fight that probably could be made if Marcus Brown was willing to come over from the PBC, because they're probably going to need a final eliminator to be made, and there's not a lot of the top guys in the WBC right now that can fight. You know, you got Ramirez has a contract dispute; he's number one. You got Pascal is the regular champion and for the WBA and likely defending that belt next. He's at number 2. You got Gvodzyk at number 3, and Marcus Brown is right in this area. So you would think, like, hey, you know, why not make this fight happen? But I don't think Marcus Brown wants to come over to Top Rank and make this fight go down. They would have to cross the street. It's a mandatory fight, and I just don't think, and I'm not sure Gvodzyk wants a technical guy, a guy who can box as good and move as good as Brown can in his first fight back. His confidence might not be there. So, you know, it's one of those things where maybe, you know, I could see it, but if it's a for sure final eliminator, but I don't think these guys are going to rush into wanting to make this fight. So I don't think it happens next. Number 8 is Badu Jack. Jack is with the PBC and Mayweather Promotions. They're not going to work with Top Rank unless they have to. Plus, Jack is looking at a rematch with Jean Pascal most likely next. So I don't think this one happens. Number 9 is Gilberto Ramirez, the undefeated former super middleweight champ. I could see it if he gets his contract dispute worked out with Top Rank. I could see him facing Gvodzyk in a final eliminator, because Gvodzyk is number 3, and again, Pascal is the WBA regular champion, so he's likely not going to be trying to determine the final eliminator for the WBC. So I absolutely see Ramirez and Gvodzyk as being the most logical fight. You know, especially if Ramirez just says, hey, you know, I'm staying with Top Rank, but I don't think he wants to stay with Top Rank for whatever reason. He's not happy, and I don't think he does stay with Top Rank, and I think I don't see this fight being possible, and it's sad because I would love to see it. And then finally at number 10 is Joe Smith Jr., former world title challenger. This fight's not possible because Joe Smith is competing in that 4-man box off for the vacant WBO title. So that's it for the top 10. What do I think Oleksandr Gvodzyk is going to do next? I think he's going to try to push for a final eliminator against somebody. You know, hopefully Marcus Brown, somebody on that level, steps up and faces him. You know, even like I said, you know, Marcus Brown, Gilberto Ramirez. Hopefully they can work that out. If not, he's probably going to take a tune-up and let things kind of play out, and then early next year will be a final eliminator, getting him back in the title picture. So hopefully we see him back soon. But that's a what's next on former light heavyweight champion Oleksandr Gvodzyk, my number 5 light heavyweight in the world right now. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.